My name is Kajsa. I'm a voice actor, stage actor, and singer. Have you ever wondered what it's like to work as a voice actor? In today's episode, Elisabeth Gauthier Pelletier, the Québec French voice of Charlie Morningstar in the Amazon Prime show Has Been Hotel, will share her experience of voicing an energetic, fun, and hopeful character with many dreams. She'll also provide insight into the Quebec French dubbing industry. You're listening to episode 3 of Voices and Visions Behind the Scenes. And speaking of Has Been Hotel songs, time to talk about Has Been Hotel.
Yeah.
What is the... Do you have like a French title for Has Been Hotel?
Hotel Has Been.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really similar.
How did you get involved in the project, and how did you get your role? Were you familiar with the show before? Because there was a pilot, before.
Yeah. I didn't know about the pilots before the recordings and before I heard about Has Been Hotel. I had friends of mine that knew about the pilot, but I didn't. And that's kind of pretty funny what happened because, as I said again sooner, it's an industry about contacts. So the director who had the opportunity to do the casting on Has Been Hotel didn't knew me at all. Like, didn't knew me. Didn't knew I could sing. He didn't know who I was. So, and for the casting, he was like, "Oh, we need someone that's gonna sing pretty well because they're not little easy songs, it's kind of Broadway songs and high voltage." So he was in the studio and asking some colleagues, even the sound man, and he was like, "Do you know someone who could sing that well and do the dubbing?" So everyone was like, "Oh, Elisabeth, do you know Elisabeth?" And he was like, "No, I don't know her. Oh, she's pretty good," and all in all. So that was pretty amazing because they all talked about me. And he wrote me on Messenger on Facebook, and he was like, "Oh, I have a show to cast. We need good singers. Could you like send me a singing demo or something like that?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." And he was like, "Can you sing Broadway songs?" And I was like, "Well, I did musical theater, so it's exactly like what I studied for, So I was pretty excited that when he said that to me, that it was like Broadway songs. I was like, so nice. I would really want to do that. And he just gave it to me, you know. He just because people told him that I was good and that he listened to my demo and he was like, "Oh yeah, okay, she's good. She can do that." So yeah, that's pretty amazing. I was like, "Really? I don't have an audition or something?" No, I just gave you the role because there's not a lot of people who could have done it. And well, there could have been people that could have do it in my friends, but my name came out with the soundman and his other colleagues. So that's why contacts is important. So yeah, that's how it happened.
Yay! Would you say that Has Been Hotel became popular in the French and Quebec French community? Or those who watches that?
I don't know how popular it went in Quebec industry. I know I have friends that knew about the pilot, so of course they're like really fan of the Quebec version and they wrote to me and everything. But we didn't have any feedback, I think, about it. But I think it went well because we know that there's gonna be other seasons of it.
Yeah.
So we know we're gonna dub the other seasons. So if it was not going well, we like they would do the seasons in English and everything, but they wouldn't have asked us to do it in Quebec too. So I guess it went well and that people loved it.
Because I talked to someone who watched the Quebec French dub, and she said like, "Oh, I'm so glad that we also got a local dub because it's not often that we get those local dubs, especially
Yeah,
for these, more smaller projects. Like obviously, Hasbun Hotel it became big, but they didn't
yeah,
know at first that it would get
no,
as big.
no, yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like too that after doing the recordings and that it went out, of course, where we all went to the like on the internet to see what people were saying, and I was so happy to see that people in France had listened to the Quebec version and was like, "Oh, they're pretty good," and I kind of like it. And sometimes I don't like the Quebec version, but now I really like the singers and everything. So that was kind of really nice to read, that internationally people were happy with the job that we did.
So, what was your first impression of the series? Because in terms of theme and tone, the language is a bit more vulgar than we're used to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I don't
Ah,
think I ever heard someone being so vulgar in like animated shows.
yeah, that's true. I would say at first I was like, okay, like I didn't found it as funny as uh like the other episodes because like any other series, when you start the first episode, you're just kind of not sure what's going on, who's the characters, and why they're doing this or that, and you're just more in an analysis mode. Um, and the more I listened to the episode, and the more I loved the characters, and at the end, I was just like, oh my God, this is a really great show, and with all of the songs that are so good, it could have been pretty like veg or something. When they do that, sometimes it's like, yeah, they put songs in it, but now it was like pretty good songs. Like if you go on Broadway and you go see musical theater. So I was like, this is so good. And even if it's vulgar and it's trash, at the end, everything trash that they said or sexual thing, I was laughing out loud. So at first I was like a little bit, I'm not sure about the tone because that's not my kind of uh thing. I don't like things too trash, but at the end I was like, oh no, I really like that. That's really, really funny. I wanted some more trash spoken thing in. I don't know. It's like it's so much that it's funny.
How much preparation did you get before starting to record Hasbun Hotel?
Well, I think they sent me at home something they don't do a lot. They sent me at home the episode so that I can see them before doing the recordings. I think I had them like a week before. So yeah, I listened to them, and for the songs, I think I had the parts maybe a week too before. Yeah. I don't remember if I had the French translation though at home, but I remember I had the parts with the English lyrics. So I could practice it in English at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a good thing because they're so difficult to do. I couldn't just go at the studio that day and learn all of these songs in one day. And yeah, that would have been difficult. But it was quite nice to have to practice it at home and like in the high notes doing, what can I do to reach those notes and that we don't lose the emotions, you know? So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we had like a week. Maybe I had everything a week before the recordings.
Yeah. Because here in Sweden, you don't get any preparation at all before you go into the studio. Not even if it's a Disney movie. You just go into the booth and like, oh, this is the script. Let's record your lines. That's it. So even if it's
When you have like a first character, um, a lot of the time they will show you the movie, but you will have to go in studio to see it because there are rights to it. So they don't want you to put the movie on the internet or something like that. So you have to go to the studio to listen to the movie. But if you don't have a big character in the movie, you will never see it beforehand. So a lot of the time, like in my dubbing week, when I go to work, I don't even know what I'm going to do. And it's the same thing for like the auditions for Disney things. They're putting a code name, so I don't know what it is. For example, if it's, let's say, Lion King, they could put a code name as, I don't know, Kingdom or whatever the word is. So you don't even know what you're going to audition for. So that's quite weird. And well, I don't know if we will talk about later, but um, about the rights. When I did Deadpool, they had so much right on it because it was Marvel that when I go to see the movie before the recordings, half of the movie that I saw was just a black screen and I couldn't like visually see something. So I just heard the voices. And when it was my character playing, um, sometimes I didn't see the scenes, and some other time they put kind of a circle like around the lips. So it's a black screen, but you just see a circle with the lips just traveling into the screen because the character is moving, the actor is moving, but you don't know what they're doing. So you're just trying to imagine what the character is doing and you try to the best you can be because I thought, oh, I will see something when I'm gonna do the recordings. And when I did it, yes, I saw a lot of the scenes, but sometimes they put like I saw the character, but here on the left, for example, we didn't see anything. So I was not quite sure what she was doing. So in Deadpool, it was like that. And when I went to the movie theater to see it, um, I was like, oh my God, that scene. She was like dragging the guy by the hair downstairs, and she's going downstairs with him, and I didn't even know. So my voice is kind of like flat, and there's not like the stairs, you know, in there's not the movement in my voice. So it felt kind of weird, but you know, like people in the movie theater don't know that about dubbers. Sometimes we don't have all of the details to do a good job. So I was like, really? I could have done better than that if I knew.
Yeah. And that's what many Swedish voice actors wish that they got more preparation for any of the works. Because, for an example, another guest I've talked to, Dominic Paulson Wiklund, she is the voice of Rapunzel in the Tangled the series. But the thing is, she didn't get any preparation for any of the songs. So she just had to do them in the booth, like listen to them for the first time and then sing them. So and that can be
most
quite
of the time it's like that. Yeah, it happens to me a lot too, but we've been lucky with Has Been Hotel, so we could deliver a great quality. But sometimes I don't know, because of the rights or something like that, we have we're not lucky, and we cannot deliver the best we could because of that, and it's kind of sad because we're all doing this job because we like to do it and we would like to have more time. Yeah.
T'étais la première au front. Impossible d'oublier une tueuse de ton calibre. C'est pour ça que je t'ai donné le nom de la meilleure chose au monde. Vagie.
En fait, ça se prononce Vaggie.
Non. Quand je pense qu'une moins que rien comme toi a réussi à se pogner la fille de Lilith. Hey, bravo pour ça.
Dimenticare una stronza come te. È per questo che ti ho chiamata con l'abbreviazione della cosa che più me lo fa intostare. Vaggi.
A dire il vero si pronuncia Vaggie.
No, così la mia vaggina detta Vaggie si è messa con la vagina della figlia di Lilith. Evviva l'amore.
That was interessante.
Interessante.
And I was like, Quebec French was soft. So in that scene, particular scene. Well,
it's not that bad.
No.
After all, Quebec is not that trash. Yeah, that's pretty nice to see that every version has their color, I would say.
Exactly.
And that they make different choices. Yeah. I really like the Adam character in Quebec. Like, he makes me really laugh because he's an angel, but he really sounds like that, you know, like
he has a very
he's
strong.
really veg.
Yeah.
He's super veg.
And he has a
quite
very strong what is it called? Dialect. I can hear the differences between like but if I listen to you, you're more clearer, sort of. Adam is like, I don't know how to explain how it sounds because exactly
I sound like that,
way
you know?
stronger. I was like, oh, okay, interesting choice.
Yeah, but Charlie couldn't be that veg, you know? That's what's interesting. She's like the only character that, yes, is in hell and is a demon too, but she's like a princess, you know? So she's super clean and she doesn't want to frustrate anybody. So she's like walking on eggs when she tries to explain something, you know? So yeah, it's really funny to do. It's like a complete opposite of everyone.
And we have very big names in the original cast, the English version. Erika Henningsen, Stephanie Beatrice, Blake Roman, Alex Brightman, etc. Did you ever feel pressure to live up to the same expectations, sort of that the singing quality? Did you feel any pressure?
Of course, I had pressure for maybe more for the singing part. Because, yeah, they are Broadway artists, you know, and we're pretty good in Montreal, but we're not, maybe we don't have as many opportunity or formation that they have in New York, you know. So, of course, I had a little bit of pressure, but at the same time, I think the pressure was more that I wanted to do myself a good job and I wanted to be happy with what I did because, as you said, we don't have a lot of time. we had 2 weeks to do all the songs and all of the episodes. So it was not a lot. And yeah, I wanted to listen to it after and be like, oh, I'm happy with what I did, and not like, oh my God, I could have done better than that, because of the time. So yeah, first that was pressure for me, but I think the pressure would be more because I was always saying to myself, I have other friends that could have done a good job too. So I want to make them proud and them to be like, oh, she did a good job. That's nice. And not like, I could have done better than her. Why did they choose her to do this part?
Mm.
So I think the pressure was more up there. But yeah, knowing that we kind of knew it was going to be a big thing because there was a pilot before and there were a lot of fans. So I think because of that, um, I kind of had pressure that I knew we would have comments internationally on our jobs. So I was like, I think that it would be the first movie or project that I would be working on in the dubbing industry that would be internationally commented, as on TikTok, on YouTube, on like every platform. So yeah, I just wanted to do a good job so people would be like, oh, okay, that's good, and not just trash me in the comments like, what's going on? The Quebec version, the girl who do Charlie Morningstar's voice is so bad, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
And what songs or part of scenes in the show did you find the most challenging to record?
Um, those with high notes, really. I would say maybe More Than Anything. I try to remember all of the songs I did, but I think, yeah, More Than Anything was pretty hard. And it's because, as I told you before on Instagram in our conversation, that I had a cold. Pretty good timing. I had a cold at that time, and it has been like a month I had a cold because I've been really busy at that time. Because, in that career, you have nothing, and then suddenly you have like gigs in the same day and in the same week. So that was it. So I couldn't really sleep. So I just had a cold and had a cold, And that's when we did the songs for Aspen Hotel. So I was like, oh my God, just within a cold, it was tough. So imagine with a cold. And so I wanted to sing, for example, a Ray, and my body just sang a me or something like that. I was like, what am I gonna do? I couldn't sing really. There are some days of the recording of the songs that I just did like the low voices in it. And for example, 4 days later, when I had a little bit more voice, we came back in studio and I made the high voices. So for More Than Anything, yeah, it was pretty tough.
Yeah, because that one
It's so
part,
high.
I need to save my people. I can't do that high note. It's like
Yeah,
F note, I think.
yeah.
Gosh, I tried to sing that part myself, but no, I can't do it. And the
Yeah, and
reprise is
that's
even worse. Oh, Charlie sings
uh
so high in the duet.
I know. And the thing is, when I practiced at home, there's some lines in English that it was easier. Not easy, but I mean easier because it finished with a high note, but on a ah. So with an ah, it's easier because you have your mouth open. So you can reach the high notes pretty easier. But when I went in studio and had the French words and saw that high note that I was doing was finishing on, for example, a oo, I was like, what? I practiced it with a ah, and then I had to do high notes with ooh. So ooh, your mouth is really closed, and you kind of have tension in your jaw. So yeah, it's pretty difficult to do high notes. I am in as a singer, you can cheat a little bit, and you can do a ooh, but oh. Instead of ooh, it's a little bit more open, so it's ooh, oh, in the pronunciation, so you can have less tension in your jaw, but still making a ooh. But other than that, it was, yeah, I think that was the most difficult part, that in French, it was not finishing on good vowels, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, no, I practiced it a lot, and all that for nothing, because now I have to do something completely different with my body to reach that note.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you record your parts first, or did you hear the like Lucifer the Quebec French Lucifer voice when you sang for More Than Anything, and did you hear Vaggy's Quebec French in the reprise?
Vaggy, I think I was the first to do the song. And for the Lucifer one, the duet, he was already there. So yeah, that was nice because I could just kind of feel the blend. Maybe Vaggy was there too. I don't remember. I know that some songs I did, I was the first one to go through it. But other ones, yeah, I could just listen to what the other people did and could just blend it. So it was a little bit easier because I was like, oh, I don't have to push it too much because the other person didn't push the note. So I was just trying to reach the high notes, but be really light on it instead of pushing the high notes really hard. So maybe that helped. Yeah.
And do you break down the songs in verse to verse, like in sections when you record, or do you do it line by line often?
It depends, really. Of course, when I had a cold, we did like line by line. And sometimes we did like half a line and half a line because it was too much difficult because of the cold. But sometimes it happened that I did a verse and we were like, well, that's quite good. But you know, if we have time, we prefer like doing a verse and then being like, yeah, that's good. But this line, we could do it more like this, or we could put more emotion to it, or so we were trying some things and we're like, oh, could you try it like that? And so, yeah, after that, if we had time, of course, we want to take all the time we have. We don't want just to say like, okay, perfect, we did it, we can go home. We want to be to the better version that we want, that we can. So at the end, yeah, I think we did kind of line to line more.
Is there an advantage of being musical in the dubbing industry, would you say?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. It really helped me for a lot of things. I think first of all, when you have I don't know how you call it in English, but like a musical ear,
Yeah.
maybe. It's easier just to dubbing in general because it's easy for you to, you don't want to imitate the one in English because we don't have the same musicality because of the language. But if your director is telling you, oh no, just finish your sentence by a point, like at the end, not don't go in the air. Like I could talk like this, I'm in the air, or I could talk like this, and this is a point. So when they say things to you, the directors, it helps to have a musical ear because you hear it. You're like, oh yes, he went down or he went up with his sentence, you know.
Yeah.
So that, and I would say it's nice too to have a musical ear and to be able to sing because you have an advantage um, from other people. Because as I said, there's a lot of people who want to do dubbing, and you have to kind of come out. You have to shine to. So the director is like, I'm gonna take her instead of her, you know. So if you have, like here in French, we have the expression plusieurs cordes à son arc. So if I translate it in English, it would be she has a lot of strings to her bow, like, or string, I don't know how to say it, but it's kind of, she has a lot of talents
Mm.
in different things. So she can dub, she can sing. In dubbing, she can do kids' voices, she can do this or that, you know. So if you just can do your voice when you're talking, that's not an advantage. If you can do like, I don't know, kids' voices, well, that's an advantage because they could take you for animated movie where there's a little girl. Or for myself, when I started, I did a lot of teens' voices. So I'm just a little bit, you know, more high in my voice. And it feels like I am maybe 14, 15 years old, but my real voice is that. Or you can do that, you know, you can talk like this. Yeah, if you can do many voices, it's an advantage. So yeah, to sing, it's an advantage too.
Émilie va m'emmener dans un zoo où tous les animaux sont super doux. Est-ce que tu viens?
J'ai besoin d'un break, mais fais un câlin à un koala de ma part.
Oh mon Dieu, tu sais que je rêve de voir un vrai koala! Ah! Tout à l'heure! Ils vont au paradis, cette corvée disparaît. Vous n'aurez plus à la faire. Ce sera un jour de gloire.
So, Charlotte has a lot of energy. Was it hard to keep up with this energy all the time?
Well, you know, as I said, it's pretty close to kind of musical theater energy, like always, you know, the jazz hands and all. So it's not that far away from my energy. So it's really a good casting. But if you do the recordings in the morning, I'm really not a morning person. So if I had to record at 9 in the morning, it was pretty difficult. Yeah. Yeah. And I had a cold too. So so to keep up with the inner energy when you're tired because you have a cold, that was tough too. Like it was my energy basically. Like the casting was good. So yeah, there's that. 'Cause sometimes you have a casting that you have to work really hard to do the character because it's not something it doesn't feel natural. But Charlie kind of felt natural to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes there were too many words.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And when she's gasping in that song, it always making me laugh. She's too much. She's just too much.
Yeah. And what was the most fun part of playing your character in the series?
The most fun part, I think I really liked uh, the thing that, well, she, as I said, she's a demon, but she's like a princess, and she kind of walks on eggs, and she wants to please everyone. So that kind of energy and personality, it was nice to play with. So, okay, today we're doing a song, and I don't know, when she wants to tell, she wants to be honest with Angel, for example, at one point, and he's like, "Yeah, well, it's not. It's good, really. It was good, but you know, we could do better than that, you know." So I think that kind of energy was really nice to play with.
What are some of your favorite lines, scenes, and songs from the show?
In terms of songs, I really like every song. Uh, I really like the first one because you had a kind of a change of style in the middle. At one point, you're starting with a kind of frozen tea-ish, and then after at the middle part, you have kind of a jazzy feeling and more trash, and so it was nice to do it. Really, it's a nice song to sing. Um, I really like the More Than Anything one with the father.
Yeah.
As an actress, I really like to interpret um, sad songs, and so yeah, it's easier for me. It's natural. I really like to do sad songs. So More Than Anything, there was kind of a sad feeling. There was a loving feeling too, but it was kind of low energy, and like she likes her father, but he wasn't there in her um, youngest days. So, and the melody of it is so beautiful. I remember my husband, my boyfriend, when I was practicing it at home. He was like, "Oh, this is such a good song," and he was singing it, you know. Um, and there's the last song too, because
Yeah, the finale, I love it.
it's like the verse of Charlie when it's pretty sad. I really had fun to interpret that part. I know that that song, when we were in studio, I kind of did it one shot, and the musical director was like, "Well, that was it. That was pretty good." And I was like, "Yeah, well, I can try to make it better, you know." But yeah, just the first verse was good because emotions were there. So this, and as of characters, I really love Serpestius and Ada characters. Serpestius is really making me laugh too in the Quebec version. I think the scene that I always remember and that makes me laugh a lot is, I don't know if you remember, but in one of the episode, oh no, not
Ballons
again.
Yay!
Ballons are back. Oh my God. Okay. So, um, there's this scene where I think Surface just came into the Hasbin Hotel,
Episode 2?
and I think, and Charlie made a kind of a theater scene for
Oh,
him
yeah.
and Angel, and Surface just doing the little virgin girl, and Angel is just like, I want to sell you some drugs, me, the drug dealer.
Yeah.
And Sir Francis is just like, oh no, I don't want to take drugs, you know?
I have to go
And
home and study.
exactly. And it's so cute because at one point it just making big eyes with sparkles in it. Yes, did you talk to me? And I don't know. I just always remember that scene. I just really like it. I don't know why. Just make it's making me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a what about you?
Yeah, so I love like the whole show, but favorite songs more than anything, the finale, and the more than anything the reprise, because oh my god, that's so lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
also,
what?
yeah, and also whatever it takes. It's actually a very underrated song, but I really love it because if you just go deeper on a level, what the song really means for Vaggie and Carmilla, like it really hits you hard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So episode 3, like I really enjoyed that whole part.
Yeah. Did you have a scene, a preferred scene, or?
I really love the whole more than anything scene.
Mm-hmm.
The whole like, Dad, why can't you like that? So and they have this discussion and then it goes into the song. Yeah, it's so beautiful
Mm-hmm.
visually, you know.
I think that's a scene we can all relate to.
Yeah.
Like a child with his parent, we all had something that has happened with our parents at one point or something like that. So I think that's why it's been so popular and so because we can relate to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just love the show so much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good. So
Yeah.
good.
Do you have any funny memories you want to share from the recording and when you recorded at Spin Hotel?
Well, it's just because I don't have like one moment, one just one funny moment, but it was really fun all the way through. Like I had the best partners, the best workers with me, and I really liked the soundman. The soundman was the one that told my name to the director at first, and the soundman is really a fan of me because when I started and I did a formation in dubbing, he was the soundman in the dubbing formation that I did. So he kind of he has been my first uh, soundman in the dubbing industry. So we had kind of a vibe together, and he wanted me to success, to have success in that industry a lot because he thinks I have great talent in it. So we really love each other. So he was there on Has Been Hotel. He was my sound man. So that's that. The musical director was awesome. I really liked the way he worked. There were no pressure, even if I had a cold. He was not like, he was not stressed at all. He was like, we will find solution. Uh, Sometimes when high notes wouldn't want to go through, he was like, Elisabeth, just sing, you know, stop thinking and just sing the song. And so sometimes he had like sentences and he said words to me that really resonated into me and that it made the the song good and it made all of this sound good because of these two people. and the director who did this too for just the lines, not the singing part. He was nice too. We had fun. So I don't know. It was I don't have a specific moment. I it was all fun and yeah, yeah. I'm excited to do the other season with them
Yeah.
too.
And what will it take from recording season 1 into the season 2 recording? Are there any things you'll focus more on now that you know your character better?
Of course. Because at first, when you do the first episode, even if I saw all of the episodes at home, like listening to them and doing them, it's not the same thing. So I kind of learned how I would do her personality in Quebec, you know? So that it's a little bit different than in the English way, but still it's kind of similar. We have to do it similar, but yeah. And I think the most difficult thing that I've been through with Charlie and has been, it's that it's in Quebecois, so in Quebec language, and not in normative French, not in the neutral French. So it was kind of hard because my brain is have the habit to look at a rhythmal band and to talk in uh, neutral French. It's been like since 2018 that I do dubbing, so it's always been like that, and it's my first project that it's in Quebec language. So I had to kind of uh not this learn, how do you say, like to learn back,
Yeah.
learn again,
Yeah.
kind of learn again to see the words on the rhythmal band, but now to do it in another kind of accent, if you want. So that was tough. And what was tough too is that in Quebecois we had less words than in English. So I always felt I had to kind of put the brakes on all of my sentences. So it kind of felt weird. For example, if in English you say, what could I say? Like, yeah, like what is her problem? Maybe sometimes it's gonna be written like that in English. What is her problem? But in French, in Quebec, we're gonna say hello, you know?
Mm.
So it's so short. So I had sometimes to fit it's not the lips, but kind of the open and closing mouth. I had to put the brakes and talk like this in Quebecois instead of just talking like that. So it was kind of less natural. And after when I listened to I listened to what I did, I was like, yeah, I hear it. I hear it that I put the brakes on the sentences because I didn't have enough words in Quebecois. So I think for this season 2, I would try to ask the director, like, if I do the I don't know, an episode and I do a scene and I'm like, I would put maybe this or that word, like add words. Maybe I would ask the director and just be, oh, do you think I could say it like that, or you know, or maybe I would just try to play it a little bit differently, not differently, but just have to find a reason why she put the brakes on every sentence. If you have if you have a reason, like, oh, she's walking on eggs, well, you can take this reason and put the breaks in your sentence because she's walking on eggs. But if you don't have a reason and you're just doing it technically because you want it to fit in the length you have in English, well, you can hear it. I don't know if I'm clear enough.
You are. I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what I would try to do. Yeah, in the next season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think will happen in season 2?
I think the season 2 could be like, I don't know, kind of a revolution season, maybe, because now she did like a little chaos. She was trying to do her thing with the Has Been Hotel, but I think in the season 1, nobody really, how can I say this? Nobody really had confidence in her. They didn't think it was a project that could work. She was the only one with Vaggie, maybe a little bit. I don't know if Vaggie was such confident about the Has Been Hotel project. I think uh, she just wanted to support Charlie, but I don't know if deep inside her she was like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna work. It's a great idea," you know. But at the end of the season, we saw that, oh my God, Heaven just they are just like, oh, she wants to do this, and she's really come like into it. She really want it to work, and I think it could work. Is it dangerous? Is it what it is about us and everything? So maybe in this season 2, it's gonna be a kind of a revolution. Now people know that she's pretty serious about it, and that she could do anything about it too. So yeah, maybe kind of a chaos between hell and heaven. You know, maybe there's something that's gonna come out
Yeah.
of the two. And what do you think is gonna happen?
We have gotten confirmed we will know a little bit more about Alistair's background, so that will happen. And I think Charlotte will have a breakdown point. Erica said that in an interview, that she will sing a very sort of song that she isn't used to. Like, it's still ballad, I think, but it's a more sadder tone. She usually tries to be optimistic, but in this she actually have a breakdown and like realize something. I don't know what, but start to. Yeah, I don't think they will reveal Lilith in season 2. Actually, I don't think that.
I don't know.
No, because
The mother's gonna.
yeah.
Well, she needs to a little bit, no, because they finished on that, so they couldn't just not talk about it. That would be, I don't know. But yeah, Charlie, that's a great point. Yeah, of course, she will have a kind of a breakdown because, as you said, she is so optimistic about everything, and now she saw like what was the real thing, what was really going on, and I think she'll be much more, I would say, angry, mixed feelings inside of her. So, that would be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to sing sad songs, you know?
Yeah. And
yeah.
there will be a fun, sexy song, quote unquote, Erica Henningsen in season 2 between Charlie and Baggy.
Oh, yeah.
So, looking forward to
I
hear
hope, and I really hope, because I really like the Surface's character. So I hope that he's not dead.
No, he's not dead. He's in heaven.
Yeah, he's in heaven. Yeah. But I hope he's gonna come back in the episode, and then,
Wow. Is there anything you would like to say to all the Has-Been Hotel fans and, of course, the Quebec French fans as well?
Well, I just would want to say that thank you, first of all, because if there were no fans of it, if there were no people watching the dubbing versions, I would not have a job and I couldn't do that funny and really nice job because of you. So yeah, first of all, thank you so much for that. And don't be shy to write to me. I know I had a little bit of people that wrote to me about it, and I always like to have comments. Uh, Even if it's not quite good, if it's constructive or something, I really like to have like advice, just like, oh, I didn't like this. Okay, perfect, or I really like that. And so, yeah, just don't be shy. I really like to read all the people comments. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Elisabeth, for participating in the show. And yeah, I hope you have a good day.
Thank you. And we'll see you in the next seasons.
Yeah.
I'm so excited
Yes, I'm so
to see you
excited.
in the next seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening and watching the podcast.